So that's just one pair of pants. I could go through all my clothes and show you how I can pull skirts over my head. But this made me realize, and this was like after I had the baby. This was like after I had the baby, okay? And the other thing too is, here's my, I should have pulled out a size 4. I didn't think about this because we only had like 2 minutes to grab the clothes. This was size 6, right? And you know, and they shrink after you wash them. Wash it. Just to show you that I am true for it.
She said with lots of sag.
I'm proud of that. You know, another thing too, I want to talk about how, like, someone brought this up to me before. It said that a lot of times women of color like to keep their curves. And I think that may be like a lazy way for us to not diet. That we go, ooh, I like my curves. Well, I like mine too. So I'm going to be a size 4 and I'm going to be alive. I'm not going to be curvy trying to please someone and be dead. There's nothing sexy about being big in a casket. I would have looked fabulous. I go, I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Holla.
And I'm not dying for anyone, okay? But I think that's something that we need to talk about, because what I learned is that, like, the average size of African American women is actually size 14. And you know that's true, especially for us who
and
are
that
in
can
our
probably
40s.
go for Latina too.
Yeah.
Her husband is Puerto Rican. My family's Puerto Rican. We like the pork.
Yeah.
And it's celebrated in the community. You don't have to be thick thin for someone
Right.
to find beauty in you aesthetically or physically.
Right. And like I said, I'm a size 4 and I'm still curvy, you know, and I like where I'm at. Someone asked me, do I want to get smaller? I actually thought about doing it before. I could probably go there if I wanted to, but I like where I'm at. You know, I'm healthy. I look great.
And we do have a question, and you guys please keep engaging. It says, when juicing, did you do any working out at all?
Well, you can walk. I tell people, do what you can. For me, I'm a walker. You know, I walk
She walks
everywhere.
all day long.
Yes, exactly. You know, especially being in downtown Atlanta, instead of jumping on from train to train, you say, okay, let me walk. I can walk. This takes me about 15 to 20 minutes. That's a mile going in one direction. I got to come back. That's another mile.
And Atlanta's a very hilly place, so
right.
you know, if you don't want to start on some kind of like crazy P90X or something like that, you don't have to. She juiced and she walked, and walking is part of her regular lifestyle.
Yeah, it's my lifestyle.
She has to be in a place where she's got to walk from building to building. But if you get, like she said, 15 minutes, you can get a mile in. And you just kind of get it in where you fit it in. It doesn't have to get it in where you fit it in. We probably, during the webinar, we have so many different tricks as far as machines you can buy that will condition your muscles, like you're running for an hour, no joke. And so we can do a little bit of recommending of those things too, because we do live in 2013. And if you can't get out of the house because you have whoever who's depending on you in the house after work, or you can't get to the track during your lunch break, technology is an incredible thing. I am a personal believer in technology. I do my ab work on a machine, and so there are things that we can talk about that you can have under your desk at work that you can hop on for 10 minutes or something like that. But I think what we want to do is definitely be smart about getting some cardio in wherever we can get it in.
Right. Like I said, you know, you're changing your lifestyle. You just incorporate it into your lifestyle. Like for me, I know I can marathon because I don't have time to be able to do that. But I have time in order to sprint to this building within 15 minutes, sprint back to this building within 15 minutes, go again later on during the day to another place, and then come right back. That's already 4 miles right there.
And again, you know, you may not have.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 4 miles.
And you may not have a situation where you can get a street, that's fine. Get online, looking at some of the exercise equipment that is actually very, very, very affordable that you can put, like I said, in your house, under your desk at work, because those types of things are also really, really good to manage your stress level. Because stress hormones pack on the pounds more than people want to even realize. And we do see you, Janae, say thanks for making the curvy comment. I love my size and curves, but I look forward to being a 6. I'm 5'8". So you're pretty tall.
Yeah.
I'm about 5'6". Are you taller than I am?
I'm 5'4".
Okay.
Here's the other thing too that I want to say. People ask me all the time. They're like, "How many pounds did you lose?" I lost 30 pounds, but people want to know my age. I know what I weigh. Because what my weight is, it may be very different from yours, and we may look totally different. You know, you may be the same number of pounds that I am, but your size may be very different. I have a friend of mine who's also size 4. She looks much thinner.
It says you lost the sound.
Oh, you lost the sound? Okay.
All right, so we should be back as far as the sound goes. So she was saying about how when she finally got down to size 4, she would go places and ask herself,
"Oh, I didn't think that I was worthy of being in a size 4." And even 430 days later, or at least I got to a size 4 at after 100 days. I didn't think that I was worthy of being in a size 4. That I still to this day, when I go into the store, I keep asking myself, when is the gig, when is the gig going to be up? I mean, it's like, okay, it's like I'm gonna walk into the store and be like, "Ha! Told you were in a size 4. You're a size 12 again." And I'm still dealing with that. So.
and that actually is a really serious point that I think we definitely want to provide support for when we start our membership program, and even touch on a couple places in the webinar series that we're going to do. The whole thing about
Getting caught up in the numbers,
like having a fat complex is so real to so many people. And the whole piece she talked about being worthy or not, that is real. Mm-hmm. You all, that is so real. That can have to do with how much money you're making, and you have an opportunity, you might pass it up because no one else in your family did something like that. And somewhere in the back of your mind, someone's telling you you're not worthy to break out of the mold. That and body constitution can work the very same way. You guys heard her at the beginning of the hour, and for those of you who weren't on with us at the beginning of the hour, she talked about how one of her brothers called her fatty.
Oh, make us feel so bad. He's gonna never call me fatty again.
When she was a little girl, when she wasn't even fat, and she was walking down. She was 3 years old. She was walking down the aisle, getting married to her husband. I call him my brother, and
I was a size 8,
and she was only an 8, and the same brother called her fatty, going down the aisle, going down the aisle. Okay, so that's been years ago. Imagine the journey, just the mental journey, and she's still on it. I mean, I have to tell you, she's still on it. And we're best friends, so you hear this kind of thing come out where it's still so new, even though it's been 130 days or 430 days, so it's been well over a year. It's still so new to her that she still needs that support.
Right.
And that's one thing, again, we want to make sure that we bring to you all is community. We want to make sure you guys know you have somebody to check in with and say, I can't believe I did this, because you're going to have your haters. You are going to have those people who don't want to see you looking, feeling, thinking good. You are going to have those people. Some of those people share your DNA. Some of those people you go to bed with that night. Some people you work with. So all of,
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, I even had a relative who posted on Facebook. I use Facebook as a way to kind of hold me accountable. You can find different ways how to hold yourself accountable. I like Facebook because it was a way for me to say, okay, I've shared this with this community. They're watching, okay, and I have to follow through. You do whatever you need to do in order to hold yourself accountable. It can be just sharing it with your spouse or with a friend and say, you need that chicken, just snatch it and run.
And
but you need a supporting group. And everyone needs to be within your circle, needs to realize that you're changing your lifestyle. It's no different than someone being like, going to like Alcoholics Anonymous or some rehab program, because you're changing your lifestyle and it's for your benefit. But the thing is that you find ways in order to hold yourself accountable. But
if you can't, because everybody is not like, that's one thing that the Size4at40 community is gonna bring.
Not everyone's gonna be a size 4.
Well, and everybody's not gonna have the tools within them to hold themselves accountable, which is one reason why we thought it would be so important to go ahead and start a program for everybody, because we all need support.
Right.
We all need
support.
Determine
your magic number. And for me, my magic number was really a size 6. And I went into the store buying on the size 6 because I realized that my 8s were too big. So I was like, okay, let me go into the store. Let me try size 6. Well, the 6 was all the size 6 that I tried on were too big. I picked it and I was in size 4. I didn't realize that's not what I was shooting for, but that's what I became.
And Janae says, did you gradually start juicing or was it an immediate transition? So you may have missed that part where we talked about she had misfired many attempts to juice. And so these last 430 days that she's still on with her program, was the successful mile.
Right.
And I think you just jumped